What up, everybody? Today I have a pretty awesome video for you where I'm going to be showing you guys how to build this survival base block for block. So without wasting any more time, let's get straight into it. The first thing I do is set the perimeter. So I do 5 blocks, 2 blocks, 2 blocks, 1 block, 1 block, 2 block, 2 block, 5 block. And repeat that pattern until we have a circle. Then on every first set of 2 blocks, I build up a total of 5 blocks high. So I place 4 blocks on top of the one that's already there. I do 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's 5 blocks high. I'm going to do this all the way around the whole perimeter. Then in front of that beam, I build out 9 blocks, and on the 10th block, I build up 5 blocks high. And this is all oak wood, so there's a 9 gap between, and then on the 10th block, 5 blocks high. I continue and do this around the entire perimeter. So I just go around the whole thing and start filling in these rows. And then at the top of them, I also fill in a beam of planks and extend it out by 1 block. As you can see, I just did there. And I do that on every single one as well. So fill in that 9 block gap and then extend it out by 1 more block hanging over the edge. So this is going to be the very basic foundation for it all. You can see there's a center room and then there's 4 wings coming out of each side. Now wherever the pillars are, I build another beam going across, and this should create a rectangle. So we're going to have 4 rectangles, and these are going to be the top floors. So just fill in those beams all the way around the whole build, and it should look something like this when you're finished. Now I come out 6 blocks here and place a block on the 6th block, and then do a pattern of 3, 2, 2, 1. And I actually use dark oak for this, which I change in just a moment. And don't worry about doing the inside, I also broke that. But the pattern is 3, and then 2, 2, 1, and then 2, 2, 3. Now we take some birch stairs and we're going to line this ledge with them. So it's dark oak and stairs. Don't use the mangrove unless you want to. But now I just continue this pattern on each of the 4 sections. So I come over here, 6 blocks out, and then I place 3, 2, 2, 1, 2, 2, 3. And there's no corner blocks. I break the corner blocks. Then just put the birch stairs around it and continue until we've covered the whole perimeter. So you see I've switched to the dark oak planks here and break that mangrove. This is just me doing the same thing on the other side. So build a nice little ledge. This is going to be our entrance to the 2nd floor. A nice little balcony that we're going to decorate later. Now I come over where the posts are and I build up 5 blocks and then connect them exactly like I did on the bottom. Just connect the support beams through. And I do this on all 4 of the rectangles. So this is the other side, just 5 blocks high, and then connect the support beams. So now they're rectangular prisms. Now I come to the edge of the circle perimeter and I build 5 blocks high. So what I do is I place 4 blocks on top of the one that's already there and then break the 3 that's between them. So there's a 3 block gap between them. And then I take stone bricks and just fill in the floor. So this part right here is just going to be the floor for the 2nd story. You could also use oak planks or birch planks or whatever you'd like. I just went with stone brick because I think it looks nice. Then once I fully fill in the floor, I take the dark oak planks and I fill in these outer little rims that I built. These are going to be little balconies that you can go onto, and also is going to be the access way to the 2nd floor. You'll see once we put the staircases in. So just fill the floors in, and now on the inner beams only, we're going to go another 5 blocks high each. Fill in the cross beam between them, and then perpendicular to those beams, build 5 beams going inward towards the build. These will meet at a right angle, and then place 5 beams on top of that right angle, and continue connecting all these beams until you have a sort of wooden matrix like this. Now we come over here and we're going to build a little ledge, and we come out 2 blocks only, so it's 2, 2, 2, 2, and then place stairs around them. And I do this on all 4 sides. So the pattern is out 2 blocks in 1 block, out 2 blocks in 1 block, and just keep doing that. And then we fill them in with dark oak planks. And these will be little balconies for the 3rd floor. Now I come over to the 1 block overhang and begin building the roof. I start with dark oak stairs and then behind it use birch stairs. So the outer edge is dark oak. You could use a different type of wood if you'd like. You could go with oak as well, but the inner is birch. So it's a 2-colored roof. And then at the very top of the roof, I place some stairs that are facing outward just to finish it off. And I do this on all 4 sides. I'm curious how it would look if I used birch on the outside and dark oak on the inside. So if any of you do that, I would love to see it. Now I go to the next layer up and do the exact same thing. Start out with the dark oak stairs and just build the outer edge first. So we just build it up to a nice little point. We're putting stairs upside down underneath them. So it's regular stairs and then upside down stairs. And it's just a normal little roof pattern. And then once you finish all 4 sides, fill in that back wall behind each of them with birch planks, as you can see I'm doing right here. Then we're going to take the birch stairs and fill in the roof, extending it all the way to that wall that we just built. Here you can see I connect the birch stairs on the balcony with part of the roof, and then at the very top I place birch slabs. And I repeat this process on all 4 sides of the house. So here's the second side, just filling in the roof with the birch stairs. You could use oak again, or any kind of wood for that matter. I'd love to see what ideas you guys could come up with a different color scheme, but I just chose to keep it a wooden build for a nice, good old wooden mansion. I think it'd be pretty cool if Minecraft had generated structures that were more like this, but I don't see the devs changing the game formula anytime soon. They've been pretty consistent, and I don't blame them, honestly. They've caught lightning in a bottle with this game. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Now on the very top floor, let's fill it in with stone bricks. So just fill in the whole area. You could use any material you wanted, honestly. We're not really going to see this part. This is personal preference. And then we come out and what do you know? We're doing the same exact roof that we did on the other 2. Just use the dark oak stairs and on the outer edge, just build up to a little point. Do this on all 4 sides. And this is going to be the 3rd story, or the roof for the 3rd story at least. So get all 4 sides done. And now once we've done that, we're going to come to the inner square that's already mapped out for us and build up 8 blocks high with the oak wood and fill that in with birch planks. So this will give us something that we're going to be able to build the roof back against. And you could technically make it a whole room if you wanted to. So this could be the 3rd story. And then just like I was saying, we're going to fill in the roof with birch stairs and extend it all the way to that wall that we just built. And we do this on all 4 sides, just like we've been doing before. At the top, we're going to place a row of slabs. So just keep doing that until all 4 are filled in. Nice and simple, just copying. Here's the other 2 that I'm filling in. I already did the first 2. So just extend it back and you should be good. These roofs are also hollow, so you could make them rooms if you'd want. I don't do that up here though. Now just a side note, on the 2nd story, I extend out the roof by 1 more row of stairs and bring out the oak log beam underneath it by 1 block. I forgot to do this earlier, but that's why I do it now. For the very top of the build, I build a rim with birch stairs and I do 2 rings and then fill in the center, leaving a 3x3 block gap, which then we place oak logs around 3 blocks high, then birch stairs around that, 2 more layers of the birch stairs, then we just fill in the top with birch planks. So it's nothing crazy, just a pretty simple roof. Now I come over here and build out the diagonals. So right in the corner, I extended out 15 blocks diagonally, and then those pillars are 4 blocks high. And then this dark oak at the top is 9 blocks by 5 blocks, but they're diagonals. So 9 diagonal blocks by 5 diagonal blocks. And then I outline the platform with birch stairs and then go over to the next side and do this again, 15 blocks out. So that's 15 diagonal blocks right there, and then 4 blocks high, and then 9 diagonal blocks by 5 diagonal blocks. Fill that in, surround it with the birch stairs, and then go on to the next side and do this for all 4 sides. And this is where a little sugarcane farm is going to go. You could have wheat or carrots or anything you want. I just think sugarcane looks pretty cool, so that's what I end up using in the end. But feel free to put whatever you want underneath this. You could have wheat underneath one, carrots underneath another, and then maybe potatoes and sugarcane or potatoes and beets. Doesn't really matter, although nobody uses beetroots. Or you could just make it an entire room by itself. So there's a lot of space. You can do whatever you want with these, but I just make them into farms. And I believe this is the last one that I'm working on right now. So I'm just placing the stairs around the outside, getting that finished up. Now I start working on details. So I place some birch fence in there. I use sandstone stairs. I also place stone brick walls and some acacia tree saplings, some lanterns. This is where you could start going crazy with detail, but I just keep it pretty basic. Not too much, not too little, and I do this on all 4 sides. I repeat the same thing. You could also add some variation in there. You could use different saplings or try out some different ideas that you might have in mind. Or if you like the way I do it, then you could just copy this. You could use something else instead of sandstone, but I think sandstone looks pretty good here. Birch kind of offers the same thing also. So birch and sandstone could be used interchangeably. But yeah, I'm just trying to make nice little walls, something better than just a flat, boring wall, but also, not just basic windows either. Now to continue the detailing, I place oak logs up here. I space them out 3 blocks apart and then fill in the gaps with birch fence. I make a couple trees in there, and then I use dark oak trap doors to cover the logs that I placed. It adds a nice little dimension of detail. And I also throw some lanterns in there. Now I go to the other 2 sides. I do the same thing. The main thing to remember, I guess, is to space the logs apart by 3 blocks. It's 3 diagonal blocks. And then fill in the rest of it exactly like the others. So it's basically just copy paste. It's all symmetrical. Now for the entrance, I use oak planks and oak logs, line it with some birch fence and lanterns, come up top and use more birch logs and fences. I use some slabs up top and make a little awning. And then for the doorway, I put some planks in there, and then I make little windows with flowers in them. I create a little overhang for the flowers with the slabs, use some lanterns just to light it up, keep it pretty simple, and then we're gonna repeat this on all 4 sides. And that's one of the great things about this build. A lot of it is very repetitive, so you only really have to learn one side. And then once you get one side down, you just go repeat it on all the other sides around the whole thing. And so it makes it a lot easier, a lot more digestible. So this is me just filling in the rest of it exactly like I did to that first corner. The flowers in the window add a nice little pop, as you can see. And I'm really going crazy with the lanterns on this build because I think it really adds a level of coziness to it. And I think it looks way better than a bunch of torches everywhere. So wherever I see fit, I just throw a couple lanterns in there. And I like to keep the lanterns symmetrical. I don't go crazy and sporadic with them like a bunch of random torches could be. So I keep it neat and symmetrical and try to make it as clean cut as possible. I think being neat with the lighting and calculated with where you place torches and stuff can really add a lot of pop to the build and force a focal point on areas that may seem kind of insignificant. Now I fill in the floors on the inside. I use oak planks for the bottom floor, and then on the top floor I use dark oak logs. And then I just light the place up with torches in there, and you could just place those wherever you want. And now I move on to decorating the outside of the roof. So I go in with some oak logs and build some cross beams, and then I use stripped oak logs and fill in the gaps. I use some glass to make little windows. I also line it with fence posts. I use birch fence posts. You could also use oak or whatever type, it doesn't really matter. And then throw some lanterns in there. And then for the very top, which I'm doing right now, I add one more layer of the roof hanging out. So there's a little overhang. I forgot to do that earlier, but I do it now. And then just add some fence posts and make a big window there. And I just go around and repeat this on all 4 sides. So I extend the fence posts to the ground. It adds like a little support beam. And then just fill it in exactly like I did on the other side. And if you don't want to use the redstone lamps or the redstone lanterns, you could just use torches if they're too expensive. If you're trying to build this in survival mode and maybe you don't feel like gathering all that redstone and stuff, you could just use plain old torches. And I put the lighting in the spots where I do because I think it makes it look pretty cool. It lights up the areas that are shadowed. So I'll put the redstone lanterns underneath the overhang, and I'll do 2 on each side usually. Try to keep it symmetrical, don't get too messy, and just brighten up the area. And it especially looks cool with shaders on, because then there's that dynamic lighting and the actual shadows and reflections and stuff. Right now I'm using complementary reimagined shaders. I like rethinking voxels also, but they're a bit harder on the GPU, and complementary just runs a lot smoother. And so I'm using that for this build, and I kind of stick with them for most of my videos. But regardless, shaders or no shaders, it should look pretty nice when we're all finished. I thought this area looked like it was lacking something, so I come in with the stripped logs and some glass and just make big windows up here and do that all the way around it. And then you could throw some lanterns up there also. Now I build some nice little staircases leading up to the 2nd floor. I use dark oak stairs and then place oak leaves around it. Cherry leaves also look nice. It's just a different look, but then you would have pink leaves going around the staircase. So you could do that if you'd like, just a personal preference. I think the cherry leaves would look good if you did the build with birch logs instead of oak logs, so you had like that white outline and then cherry leaves against those. Just an idea. But yeah, I just go around and do this on all 4 sides. So there's 8 staircases total. And now I start working on the interior. So I line this with some birch fences and lanterns. I separate the lanterns by 1 gap. And then in between the lanterns on the logs, I place some stone brick walls and then lilacs in between. I think those are lilacs. And so I just do this on all 4 sides. So yeah, I use dark oak logs and stone brick stairs. I think that's a good color scheme. I think it looks really good in the end, especially when I get finished with the interior, like inside, which I'm about to do. I think it looks very cool. So I'm just finishing up this last side, decorate it just like the others, and these should be quick unless you want to add more detail yourself. I'd love to see build ideas that you guys do. There's so much that could be done with this house. So now I move on to the very interior, the main room. And I build 4 little gardens in each of the 4 corners. There's 3 blocks on each side and then 1 block diagonally separating them. So they're small, and then I fill them in with grass. I place a block of water in the very center and then go around with the oak logs and then use some stone brick stairs, birch stairs. Just start filling in the floor. I use some lanterns and light up the place. There's still bats flying all around because I forgot to put torches inside. And now I'm just filling in the floor. You see me use stripped logs, but I actually switch it to dark oak logs, as you'll see in just a second. I think it matches way better. Something about the dark, rich color of the dark oak looks really nice in this build. And then just some torches around. For the little gardens, you guys could use carrots or potatoes or whatever. I just use wheat. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm going around and planting the wheat in each of these 4 gardens. Get that all grown. I'm pretty sure I bone meal it also. I don't wait for it to grow, but in survival mode, you're just gonna probably wait for it to grow. I don't imagine you're gonna be bone mealing this. So yeah, once that's all grown, I'm pretty sure I start the very center of the floor now. I put stone brick stairs in there, and we're gonna have a staircase leading up to the 2nd floor here. So I break out a 3x3 block section in the ceiling above, and then on the floor, I do a 3x3 section of stairs, but I leave the corners empty. So there's 3x3 blocks in the center, and then on top of that, I do another row of stairs. And I originally had it connect up on all 4 sides, and I thought it looked kind of weird, and it didn't really feel right when trying to go up the staircase. So I break out 2 of the sides and then just leave it going up on 2 sides. So you'll see what I mean in just a second. Yeah, I break 2 of the sides, and now you go up the staircase, and on to the left and to the right, you can enter the 2nd floor. And now I turn around and begin building the sugarcane section. So I placed a diagonal row of grass blocks and then water between those on the outside. Place the sugarcane on the grass and then fill it in with smooth stone on the outer edge. And then in the center, I use oak. And then on top of the smooth stone, I place birch pressure plates. So it just adds a little bit more detail and texture to the floor. You could put trapdoors there also. I was playing around with that, but I thought the pressure plates looked a little bit better. They were more subtle and out of the way. The trapdoors, you kind of bump into them if you run past them. But yeah, this is my sugarcane area. You could put bamboo here also. And then I just throw some redstone lamps like usual, just to light up the area. We don't want any mobs spawning down here. The last thing we want is a creeper to come and blow this up. So make sure to place light sources early on when you're doing this. Otherwise, it'll turn into like a mini mob farm. I set the game on peaceful mode, so there were no mobs in here, but there were tons of bats since I didn't light up the area. So that's something to keep in mind. And in these little sugarcane areas, I place torches in a straight single file line along the floor. I think that kind of keeps it neat and makes it look pretty nice. If you don't need all this sugarcane, you could convert these into entire rooms actually. Just build some walls and you got a whole room. So this could be a storage room if you'd like, or maybe a trading hall, which actually might be kind of hard to do, but it's worth a try. You never know. I think if you could pull that off and get a trading hall down one of these sections, it would look amazing. So if any of you try that, let me know. You can contact me on Twitter. I don't really use it, but I'll try to use it. I'm planning on starting an Instagram, so you can find me there just at Grape Nugs. Also, I was contemplating changing my name from Grape Nugs to something else, so let me know if you think Grape Nugs is a good name or if you want to see it change. I don't know, I kind of like it, but there's something else I was thinking about trying, so I'd love some feedback on that. But yeah, this is the build. I think it looks absolutely amazing. It was inspired by Almost Addicted, so he's got a YouTube channel. He posts some really cool builds on there. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and show the like button who's boss. If you want to see more stuff like this, join the Grape Nugs channel and subscribe. And I hope you all had fun with this one because I certainly did. Anyway, thanks for watching. Peace.